right, thank y'all for all you do. We really appreciate it.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take a couple more. Not again. You guys are good. Thank you so much.
All right, congratulations.
It says 3 people are watching.
I'm not telling you. You're bad, I guess.
Stay up there for first.
Well, let me see how it goes. Probably.
Sure. I'm good, sorry.
You can bring your nurse with you. All right. Thank you, firefighters, for all you do. We really appreciate you. And I'm always bragging on you guys when I'm out in girls, when I'm out in the community and meeting with people from other communities. I'm sure I speak for the council when I say that we're very, very proud of you.
Yes.
So, okay, let's move on to 2B, the Mayor's Fitness Challenge Awards. Maddie McAllister. I guess come on down. You should have just stayed there. And then we got curb appeal after that. So.
We all going
You
down?
need us all down there?
No, she's gonna read some.
So yes, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a lot of awards and photos. So if
Okay.
you guys want to join me down here, that would be excellent. So just for the record, Maddie McAllister, Public Information Officer. Good evening, council. Good evening, citizens. I'm so excited to be here this evening. I was super excited to be doing this award. We had 44 people sign up for the Mayor's Fitness Challenge this year, 2024. It's not the first Mayor's Fitness Challenge, but it was a very excellent one. The awards we're going to be giving this year are a ton of participation awards, and then, as usual, our 6 cash awards. We couldn't have done this without our sponsors, so just a big moment of appreciation for them. We had the most sponsors this year than we have had any year previous. We had Highland, World Risk Management, Florida Healthcare's Plan, Advent Health Fish Memorial, and we also had Just Dance and Fitness Studio. They were a lot of fun this year. A lot of people gave them a big round of applause. So our first participation award category is going to be the Walking Away with the Winnings Award. So Mayor, I know we did the Mill Lake Fitness Challenge where we did the walking every Monday. So these awards are going to the 4 people that were present every Monday with you guys.
That's more than me.
That's more than you, yes. So we had a check-in sheet. And so everyone would check in with whoever was present. Sometimes it was the mayor, sometimes it was somebody in the place of you. I know Vice Mayor was there sometimes. The city manager, Dale Arrington, was there. And sometimes there was one day where it was just you guys walking. So our first person that we're gonna call down is Alan Williamson. So come on down and get your prize. Yes, sir, for a photo. Yeah, with everyone.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, congratulations.
Stay available. We'll take a group photo.
They have names on them. They're all the same, but yes, we'll do names. You'll have Tobias. So the next one in our walking away with the winnings category is the same thing. Also showed up every single time we did a Mayor's Fitness Challenge walk at Mill Lake, and that one is going to be Tobias Stout.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, our next walking away with the winnings is going to be Tobias's other half, Charlotte Stout. our last walking away with the winnings award is going to be Miss Carol Langbacker. So come on down.
Carol continues to walk. I see her out there all the time.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you.
Great.
Yeah, they're in order. All right. So as I mentioned, the Mill Lake Monday Walks were not the only event with the Mayor's Fitness Challenge. We did have Just Dance and Fitness Studio as one of our sponsors. So one of our events were the Just Dance and Fitness Studio classes. Those were also available for participation and points. So one of our next category is the Just Dancing the Night Away Award. And Miss Serene Roach, she placed second, yes, in this category with 14 points. And our first place winner for the Just Dancing the Night Award, or Just Dancing the Night Away Award, is Miss Maureen Flores. And that's okay, we will get that to her. So, someone very special that made it to all of our Mill Lake Monday walks and every single Just Dance and Fitness class, yes, who got our perfect attendance award, and I have been notified he gets this award every single year, is Mr. Richard Simmons. So come on down. All right. So although participation is half the battle, we do have our cash awards for all of our percentage of weight lost. And that is done by Advent Health. They weigh in and weigh out, and they keep track of all of those records for us. So Miss LA, would you like to join me and give out these awards?
Let's give her a round of applause. Every single year she's here.
Come on up. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna start with men, and we're gonna do third to first. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna come back up here. Okay. All right, so third place with 8.3% of body weight lost is gonna be Jeremy Wiggins. So come on up.
Here we go.
All right.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
And before you go, I know that Mayor, he probably wants this.
Jeremy is actually our human resource person, so we appreciate it.
Second place in our men's category with a total percent weight loss of 9.5%. And I just want to mention, this is in 8 weeks. This was an 8-week challenge. So 9.5% in 8 weeks lost is going to be Joseph Ruiz.
We gotta find the window. All right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Joe's another city employee, so development services.
All right, and first place for our male category is with 12.9% weight loss, is Douglas Moorfield. So, okay. Our third place person is not here. I'm going to give them an honorable mention. So our female category is next. Our third place female winner is actually not present. She's what she calls herself a snowbird. So she has already departed to go back up north. Her check will be mailed with her trophy. But her name is Helena, and she lost 6.1% of her body fat in 8 weeks. So our second place female category winner lost 10.8% in 8 weeks, and her name is Renee Campbell.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
And last but certainly not least, in first place for our female category winner, we have Nashla Merced with a 12.3% body weight loss. And Nashla is a city employee who is on vacation, so she is not going to be here as well. And I just learned that a few minutes ago, so that explains me giving that to you. And that concludes our Mayor's Fitness Challenge winners, all of our participation winners, all of our cash prize winners. Thank you all so much for participating. We really appreciate it. It's always so enjoyable to spend the last 8 weeks getting to know you all. I'm sure I can speak for you all as well, getting to walk with them and getting to know them, and I like getting to weigh them. So that concludes, that's all I have. Group photo, absolutely. If you're a Mayor's Fitness Challenge participant, if you'll join us with your prizes.
Thank you everyone for participating. We always look forward to this. I know.
Thank you. It was so good to see you.
Till next year.
To next year, yes.
We'll do this again.
Next, we have the Curb Appeal Award winners, and Becky Mendez will be, right?
Oh, no.
This is first quarter 2024 winners for the Curb Appeal Program. We started it in 2012. We try to award every quarter. We're accepting nominations for second quarter 2024, so please contact the city clerk's office if you'd like to nominate a commercial or residential property. In appreciation of keeping Orange City beautiful, you're presented with this certificate of award, a $50 gift card, yard signs, an announcement on the city website, and this wonderful presentation. I forget my head if it wasn't attached.
Is this the first one?
Yes. So the first one is the West Volusia Dream Center. down on South Volusia. And someone else here. Thank you for keeping.
Who was scared?
Certificates on it.
He told me what happened. I couldn't.
Thank you very much. There is a $50 gift card in there, so it's not just Orange City swag, which is important and valuable. Yes, there's a $50 gift card in there. For the residential winner is James and Sharon Nolan at 370 North Oak Avenue. Come on up. Mr. Nolan used to be on our Historic Preservation Board as well.
All right, you ready?
Thank you.
Can we sit now?
I believe so. Yeah, you can stay standing if you want. No. Totally up to you.
Shots in the back, no, I'm good.
Help both you up.
Going down.
I'll be right behind you. Mine's coming up.
Now, in 2 weeks, they're gonna go.
All right, those are the fun things that we do on occasion, and we appreciate everyone that participates in these things. Up next, item number 3, we've got citizens' comment, and Ray Ford is coming up. And while he's on his way up, I just learned that I worked with his mother out at Galaxy Middle School. She was my assistant principal.
Hi.
So,
Way
and she
cool.
was very fair, too.
Greetings, Mayor Blair, Council, and the general public. Greetings, I am Rakeem Ray Ford, and I'm running to be your next West Volusia Hospital Authority Group A Seat 2 Commissioner. Yes, I know that's a mouthful. So West Volusia Hospital Authority, or WVHA, is a 5-member commission that oversees a $20 million budget for health initiatives and programs here in West Volusia. I'm running to ensure that the board represents us here, as there is currently no Orange City member on the board currently. After receiving my MBA from Florida A&M University, I worked at Ernst & Young, one of the largest accounting firms in the world. There, in their Tallahassee office, I helped with FEMA in distributing $25 million in disaster relief here for our great state. In closing, put the Ford in affordable healthcare and vote Rakeem Ray Ford as your next West Volusia Hospital Authority Commissioner of Group A, Seat 2. Thank you, and God bless.
Great, thank you. I like that. Put the Ford in a Ford. Good play on words there.
Shark Tank material.
Great. Okay, next, Tara James. And if there's anyone else that would like to speak, please fill out a form, and you can come up and address the council if you like.
Hello, my name is Tara James. My address is 563 Gilmore Stage Road, Orange City 32763.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, council members and mayor. After a very long time of debating of doing the right thing, I felt to come before you to talk about the council member that I think is misleading the public and the council. I want to tell you about the Backpack Buddies and how it started and my role in it. I have seen Kelly Ann Marks narrate in many public forums that she has created this mission with her daughter in her home. The evidence, and you have the copies in front of you. She did not have a daughter in 2019. She was not married, so she did not have a stepdaughter either. In 2019, myself, Kelly Ann Marks, started a food program for our children in our school. We held food drives for the Orange City Elementary School to help the pantry. During this time, I've overheard a family saying that they needed food for their family. Immediately upon hearing that, I went to my church and I requested 2 bags, and I gave the food and took it to the school. After some research, I came up with the name Backpack Buddies based on a picture that I have in my garage. In your copies, you will see that Kellyanne wrote that states all as well. My vision was to have one day to open up a food pantry in Orange City. As of our 2 stories, this story is mine and the other one is Kellyanne's. You have evidence in your copies. We started providing food for 85 children at Orange City Elementary in September 2019. We did get some donations, but not enough to feed 85 children, so my husband and I started purchasing food weekly for 2 months. I have the receipts if needed right here. We converted a spare room into our pantry to store the food to later distribute. At that time, my husband said he would no longer buy food since Kellyanne wasn't contributing to any funds. Soon after that, Kelly and I had a disagreement over putting toothbrushes directly in food bags and about volunteers. I thought that the toothbrushes should be separate, and I don't think that the workload required any volunteers yet. In late 2019, Kellyanne texted me for an in-person meeting. I let her know that I was on my way to work and I did not have time to meet. She was very upset and questioning my commitment in this mission. She told me my job could wait for a few minutes and this was a priority. She stated that she was the president and everything that was in her name, and she didn't want anything to do with me and didn't want to follow her orders. There is text messages and you have all the copies. Very soon after that conversation, I received a certified document letter from Kellyanne stating her intent to terminate me as the vice president and demanding that I turn in all of the food and money possessions. If not, she was going to sue my husband and I. Mayor.
Can you wrap it up quickly?
Yep.
Very quickly.
President demanding that I turn over everything. I don't think this is the kind of person who should be leading our community. She is now getting substantial salary for a nonprofit, consistently requesting funds from the council that contribute to the salary.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Anyone else have any citizens' comments? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Got a motion, we got a second. Anybody? Oh, looks good to me, okay.
Mr. Mayor, it'd be appropriate to ask if anyone from the public
Would
wish
anyone
to
from the
comment
pub-
on the
Yep,
consent
gotcha.
agenda.
Anyone from the public like to speak to this? Seeing none, any further discussion with the council? If not, Rebecca?
Councilmember Darms,
Yes.
Councilmember Papello,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tiomson.
Yes.
Councilmember Stafford. Councilmember Grimm.
Yes.
Councilmember Marks.
Yes.
And Mayor Blair.
Yes, and the consent agenda passes. Okay, let's move on. Item number 5, ordinances first reading, none at this time. Item number 6, public hearing / ordinances second final reading, none at this time. Item number 7, resolutions, none at this time. This never happens,
I know.
people. Item number 8, discussions in action. No discussion in action. Great. Oh, you didn't have some? Okay, I didn't know if you were going to rock the boat or not here. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Well, now's your time. Item number 9, report. City manager's turn to rock the boat.
Yeah, thank you. I will fill the void that you're temporarily filling.
We like the
Just-
void.
So I won't be long. You know,
Right.
first I want to express publicly how wonderfully I think our whole staff responded to an unusual and unfortunate circumstance on Veterans Memorial Parkway when a contractor who was doing road work out there underneath the Volusia County Road Program broke one of our huge 16-inch water mains. This happened at 10:30 yesterday morning. I want to say, immediately we all launched into trying to solve the problem, even though, and Mr. Tiamson says, why does this happen? And I have no answer. We provided everyone with the correct information, but on occasions, accidents happen, and sometimes very bad accidents happen. You know, it's a construction site with a lot of big equipment and a lot of digging going on. The water distribution staff immediately began to do two things. One was to work with the contractor to prevent the street from flooding, and the other was to isolate the main break. And at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the main break had been isolated. And, you know, it is good that all during that time we were able to adjust our wells so that we were able to keep some pressure going, and we did not exhaust our supply of water. We did not have to turn on the interconnect, but I want you to know we were monitoring that very, very carefully and placed our calls to Volusia County, because what happens is you literally bleed out your system with a line that is that, or a break that is that substantial. That did not happen. Once we isolated the water line, we had to bring in pumps and dewater the situation. If you saw any pictures, and I'm not sure we posted them online, you would have had to have put on your scuba diving gear in order to fix the line break. So the first thing we had to do was dewater the situation. Then we repaired the line, and we were finished with that by about 6:30 in the evening. The line was completely repaired. And subsequently, we went to turning back on the water at 8:30. Everything was restored and back up pretty much to normal pressure. Whenever these lines break, we are required to put out what is called a precautionary boil water notice. And this affected almost everybody in the city. It's much easier to describe who it didn't affect than who it did affect. It did not affect Country Village, which gets their water from the well that is located just south of Country Village proper. It did not affect people who have their water in their houses provided by wells, and it did not affect Volusia County water customers. So this was isolated to city water customers. In advising people of the boil water notice, if we used it doing our traditional method, which is the preferred way, which is hand delivery of door hangers, we would still be out there delivering those right now. Only because of the miles of pipe that were affected and, you know, having to put out so many people to do it. So we use social media, we use the city's website, we use the message boards that are available to us, and we worked with the County of Volusia to do a reverse 911 call, where we let everybody know that they needed to boil their water until they're notified not to again. We also worked with the artificial intelligence voice on our answering machine and the county's 911 dispatch system so that we had good after-hours messaging for anyone who called our utility billing number. So the protocol when you're under a citywide boil water notice is we have to take 12 samples at different locations 2 days in a row and take them to the lab for testing of bacterial growth. And it's precautionary, just to make sure that nothing is growing or polluting our water. And you boil your water that you use for drinking, bathing, toothbrushing, not necessarily bathing, but anything you're putting in your mouth or open wounds, you need to boil it for 1 minute, and then it's safe to drink. We anticipate being able to complete taking all of our samples on Thursday, and hopefully by the end of the week, we'll be able to resend the boil water notice. That's our hope. Can't say if it's Thursday, Friday. Conceivably, if we don't get back clean samples or the lab is broken, it could be extended. And you may laugh, well, the lab never breaks, but yeah, it does. So, you know, these are a citywide testing protocol that is in effect. We will re-notify everybody the exact same way we notified them. So people should be alert to watch their social media, watch the city's website. You click on our website, you get a pop-up banner immediately. You can call our lines. At one point, we had over 100 phone calls in our queue, and we're deploying actively 5 people to answer all of the phone calls. We have also met with our utility billing company. I don't know that a solution is on the way, or we'll be back in time to try and narrow down the reverse 911 calls and perhaps run it through our own utility billing system this time. That may be asking too much to make a technological change of that magnitude in such a short amount of time. But we will do our very best to get the word out and as soon as we can. Are there any questions?
Yes, I do. One of my neighbors did not get that reverse 911 call, and so I advised her to call in today, which she did, and hopefully she's on the system now. So
Hopefully.
there may be a way, I don't know, that we could check that to make sure everyone's included. I don't know.
I don't know how we do that. It is something that is run through the county dispatch system. We've heard of people in Sanford getting them. I don't know if it's that they were once registered here and now have moved and are not off. We'll have to review all of that with the county.
Right. Thank
If
you.
there's something we can do to improve it, we will.
Right. Alex?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to put in the context what I said. When I ask why it happens, I understand the accident happened. It's just that I will not engage anybody online or argue. But if you want to talk to me, more than welcome to make an appointment, and I'll talk to you all day long. But I try to gauge the frustration, and there is a lot sometimes of what happens. It doesn't happen all the time. I think during the tenure I've been here, not tenure, but during my tenure here, I distinctly remember maybe 3 water main breaks, which is not a lot, and accidents do happen. I'm just wondering with the advanced way of them being able to look into our pipe system maybe before they do any digging, why this occurs.
So I really can't answer that question, because every time you dig, you're supposed to call and get your locates. And we do a good job, and in this instance, we provided the locates. So, what happens between the information being sent out and the person digging, I really can't tell you. I will say that when I first started here, which was 8 years ago, we did not have a good set of maps at all. And over the course of 8 years, under Migdalia's pushing and prodding and insisting that we get GIS equipment and field locators, we have a pretty darn good mapping system. But there are times that, as we go out in the field, we find that people are hooked up to a water pipe with a brand new one that has no one on it, that was laid 10 years ago and was never executed. So, there's a lot of times when you're going from having nothing to having a full set of maps that you don't find things until you're out in the field. So all the time we are field adjusting our maps, but there were no maps.
I got you. Understood. Thank you.
At not too long ago. And then during your tenure, I want you to know underneath your, everyone's here wanting us to work on our water system. We have made great improvements to the water system, and we have frequent planned water outages. Those are completely different than accidents, where we notify people a couple of days ahead of time that we will be working in their area to take out their old, icky, corroded pipe and put it down a nice new one for them. And, and the protocols that you follow on that don't always result in boil water notices, but sometimes they do.
And I do want to reiterate that even though it has become sort of a running joke with our water, that we are working tirelessly to improve our system, and to be above and beyond what people expect, and the quality of the water that we're giving out. So don't think that the city is not doing anything. We are. If you want to look into it, or you want to have a meeting with me, discuss it, just let me know. We're doing a lot for our water.
We are. And, I just want to say again that it took a lot of people in both Public Works and Utilities and the county's contractor working to fix a break of this magnitude. And I think it was really something that it was taken care of within a single day.
Thanks for all the work.
Mr.
Mayor, I just
Reichman, you
wanted
had your hand up?
Just to follow up on a couple legal aspects. Florida law requires that any contractor, really anyone, that's out there digging in Florida, especially in a right-of-way, is required to contact, it's a toll-free number for Sunshine Locate. And all local governments and all utilities notify this agency about where their utilities, all their pipes. And a lot of times you'll find that this type of unfortunate event occurs where you've got a really crowded right-of-way. You've got pipes in roads that they're just one right on top of the other. And a lot of times, it's been my experience and with the clients that I've represented, is where you've got multiple pipes and one's at 3 feet in depth and the other's at 6 feet in depth. And it's difficult sometimes because it is so crowded. But the city of Orange City, I can assure you, has notified, and all of their utilities, as Dale indicated, it's been a lot of work for the city to make sure that all of our pipes are located, so that when hopefully the proper investigation is done by contractors and subcontractors, that they will hopefully be able to exercise the proper care. This one's interesting. It's 16-inch pipe. 16-inch pipe. 16-inch pipe. That's hard to miss. It's more common, you miss a 3-inch pipe or a 5-inch pipe or something like that. So, but they'll do their due diligence and find out. I mean, that's what local governments do. Make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Yep.
And so, just want to make sure you're aware of that.
Stuff happens. Fran?
I reviewed all the information that was sent out, and I want to say, I went to a lot of my neighbors and I said, are you aware? And they went. So whoever saw it, whether it was management, and then they sent out information to everybody. I was like really amazed. Every single person I went to already knew. That being said, reviewing everything, it said that, of course, the samples have to be sent to a lab. And I got the impression that they weren't very nearby. Are they like out of the area or something?
We drive them over, yeah.
That's what I said. Where are you
We have
driving?
a couple of labs. I think I don't know. I've never been there, so I want to say they're towards the Orlando area, maybe
okay.
Sanford. Let me see if anyone's supplying me
Yeah, that's not
with
around the
immediate
corner.
information. No.
All right, Ms. Marks?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to the city manager and the staff for taking care of this so good. I felt like it was flawless. You got the messages out to everybody. You let us all know so that we could educate everybody. And I really don't think you could have done a better job, honestly. Just getting the word out and letting everybody know and taking care of it. It was just accidents happen, like you said. and you reacted and took care of it, so thank you.
Thank you. You know, it wasn't perfect, and we're looking at ways to make it
Contractors that
better.
do work have insurance. Are they going to pick up the loss? Because I'm sure there's a big financial.
I'm certainly hopeful that they will. We've already met once with the county on this, and we will continue to meet.
All right, do you have anything else?
Yes, sir, I do. So, the second item I wanted to make you aware of is that, as you know, we are working to rehabilitate the main water plant, and we're doing a remodel so that everybody can work in there, because it is crowded beyond belief, and we have had to execute one change order to date to accommodate some information technology changes that we needed to make. And then as we went in, before you start building back, you have to demolish a lot of things. So we took everything out. And I advised you that we had found termite damage. So the termite damage and water damage. We had unknown water damage, unknown termite damage at the time that we did the building design. I can either stop everything and we can just sit around and demobilize what we've started, or I've decided I'm going to go ahead and sign a change work order for the architectural drawings to come in, and we don't lose 3 weeks until your May 14th meeting. I will be going over my budget authority on this change order. I will be taking it from about $91,000 to $113,000. I'm going to go ahead and sign it and authorize the work and put it on your next agenda. I think that is the right thing to do, and I think it will save us money in the long term. If you stop now, send everyone home, reconvene them in 4 weeks, it costs more. So I'm going ahead and exercising the authority to approve this. I'll bring it back to you. If you have real heartburn with it, you can say, nope, don't do that now, or you can pull it off the agenda for the consent agenda, which is normally where we would put this, for better discussion next time. But it is due to the fact that, you know, we did not realize we had this termite damage that has to be designed around and bring new parts of the building up to the 2023 building code.
Is everybody all right with that? Yeah. Yep. you're
So
good?
I'm not really asking permission because it's not the right part of the agenda, so
All right.
sort of letting you
to
know.
feel good about what
Thank
you're
you,
doing.
thank you. You know, it's.
She's
and
gonna
I
buy the
just-
dress.
I discovered this just a couple of days ago, so,
Right.
you know, no time to, with everything else that was going on. You know, lastly, we can discuss the sewer lines that we are putting on US 1792. It's been a very fascinating week with so many projects causing, you know, unusual problems. My office is keenly aware that we've got a dangerous situation out there. Christine has been out there and met with everybody. John has been out there and met with everybody. We think that the maintenance of traffic solution that was approved by FDOT for that area did not take in how difficult it is to change behaviors of drivers who are used to having that middle lane, that flip-flop lane that you and I call the suicide lane. You know, where you've got people who drive in both directions to either turn right or turn left. They're not following the yellow line patterns out there. They're just not doing that. We are with Chief Miller understands it. He agrees the situation out there is dangerous. He is going to be posting officers out there during peak hours in the morning and the evening. until we can get a new solution proposed. Christina's working on that. Do you want to add anything, Christine?
Just that our hopes will be that over the next few days, you'll see improvements.
So, you know, so long as we don't hit any water lines, we should be out of there in, 14 to 18 days. We're making good progress on the work out there, and we are going to authorize an emergency work order to hopefully put up some temporary barricades, that are not dangerous. I don't know the right name for them, but we're sticks. They're some sort of sticks. Lane delineator posts. That sounds so much better than yellow sticks, doesn't it? Okay.
Same thing.
But different, right?
So, we're aware of that problem, and we're doing whatever we can to mitigate it. We don't want anyone to get hurt. And I think the extra dollars that we need to spend, are well worth it if we can prevent an accident.
Absolutely. Anything else?
No.
Any questions?
Unless people have questions for
Nope.
me.
See no questions, so we'll move on to the city clerk's report. And is Rebecca going to do that too? All right.
So we have an election update. Councilmember Stafford has filed to run for District 2.
Congratulations.
That's all.
And that's it? Oh, okay. Any questions for the clerk? Okay, seeing none, city attorney.
I guess more just an update. Maybe y'all have seen some news articles about the attorneys for a little town in Oregon called Grants Pass. They're up in Washington right now before the United States Supreme Court. And they were arguing today, trying to overturn a decision that was made at a lower level federal district court. And it sounds esoteric and far, far away, but it really does have potentially a big impact for all cities, including our Orange City. Because as you know, recently the Florida legislature passed a new law which placed an obligation on local governments to not let the homeless either sleep or camp in public spaces. Didn't say how we're supposed to do that. Didn't give us any money to do that. And why but put that obligation on us. And thank goodness, because our office has been working with your police department, with Dale, to try to do what we can and watch what other jurisdictions in Florida are doing to try to get ready for that as much as we can. But a lot of it's going to have to do with what comes probably in June, when the Supreme Court will make a ruling on this Grants Pass versus Johnson, because in that case, the question was whether a regulation that was in this little town in Oregon placed punishments, penalties, fines, and or potentially arrest on folks that were sleeping and camping in public spaces. And of course, that was challenged as being a cruel and unusual punishment under one of the amendments to the United States Constitution, and that's the issue. So right now, the case law is the law in the United States is that local governments can't take those actions, can't punish that type of behavior. It's not considered conduct right now. It's considered involuntary. People don't have that option. So that's why it's deemed under current law to be, you can't do that unless these folks have an option, so that it becomes voluntary as opposed to involuntary. And that option has to be under current law, that there's a place where they can go. Well, there's not a place in all of the United States where homeless can go to, and I mean shelters. And so and shelters are incredibly expensive. So you're talking about billions of dollars to comply with that federal obligation. So right now we're waiting to see what happens with the new state law, which I'm sure will be legally challenged, and we're waiting to hear, on the other hand, what happens up in Washington, D.C. with the United States Supreme Court. And the oral arguments were heard this morning. you know, you depending on which lawyer you talk to, they will look in their crystal legal ball and say it's probably going to go this way or that way. I'm not going to do that. We'll wait to see what happens in June, and we will report back. Again, I don't think this is going to, knock on wood, have a huge impact on the city of Orange City. And I don't want to say more than that, but I know that our public service departments and public safety departments are working tirelessly to try to make sure that it isn't a problem here in Orange City, and I think that needs to be recognized at this time.
Great. Thank you for that update. I caught that last night, too.
Migdalia is watching us on YouTube, and she advises that the lab is in Altamont.
Come on.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Can I comment on?
Yes.
I just don't understand why they make these laws, but they don't really think them out before they make these laws, right? Think about it. They make the law, but they don't think of all the different things until it gets to the Supreme Court. You know what I mean? And there's all these deficiencies, if you will, that we've had in the past.
Unlike Orange City, I'll say it this way: when you read some of the facts involved in the case of Grants Pass versus Johnson, the situation that Grants Pass was having was becoming to a point where it was affecting public safety. I mean, that little town was having a devil of a time. You could argue, and if you look into it, you can see some of the pictures and everything like that. I mean, their public parks were not usable by the public. And so their elected officials felt that they had to do something. They were being demanded that they do something. And so they knew that there would be a legal challenge, but they felt that they had to do something. And now that something is going to be addressed, and the United States Supreme Court is going to say that that is okay. That's not the right word, that it's legal, it's constitutionally. I mean, obviously, we would all prefer that we could solve the problem, but Grants Pass, I'm assuming, did not have the financial wherewithal to fund on their own a shelter, which would cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. And so that's why those folks knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, their situation was they're between a rock and a hard place.
And what we talked about is nobody wants it in their backyard, right? When we talk about we may have to build something like this eventually someday, all the cities, nobody wants it in their backyard.
Well, nobody wants it in their backyard. The requirements that were put in the state statutes have some fairly strenuous building requirements associated with them in terms of sheltering needs and restroom requirements and security, and then they're not allowed to be in place in one location for more than a year. So,
Yeah.
It's also my indication that some of them don't want to go nowhere because there's no
That's right.
drinking or drugs, so they want to stay out in the wilderness.
correct.
So what do you do in that case?
Well, in that case, you have to, never mind, I don't want to say.
There have been, I will tell you that there have been articles and arguments for decades about the root causes of homelessness and potential solutions. And if it was simple, it would have already been fixed by now.
Yep.
And it's not simple, and I don't know that it can be fixed. That's not legal, but I will tell you that lawyers and judges and cities have been working tirelessly for a long time to deal with it. And to your point, it is to some degree, I'm not sure there's enough money available to fix the problem completely.
I just
Yep.
have a quick comment, and while you were talking, I was thinking about this is not a yesterday problem. This has been going on. I worked in New York City 35, 40 years ago, and I can recall then, we're talking the 80s, climbing over people so I could put my token in to get on the subway. So this has been ongoing, but it seems to be more prevalent now because there's no caring about where they want to go. And you're right. If they're told you can't do this, this, and this, they're not interested. So how do we deal with that? What law is there that says, how do we deal with that?
And we don't know.
Well,
Find out.
the new law that has been passed in Tallahassee has an answer to that question. The problem is that at the same time that the mandates were imposed and your city manager indicated and partially described some of the requirements that we've imposed upon local governments to answer your exact question, there's absolutely no funding associated with those mandates. And I cannot, sitting here today, begin to tell you what it would cost for the local governments in Volusia County working together with Volusia County to try to start coming up to comply with what's required in that new state law.
It's tough.
All right, is that all you have, Bill?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. New business? Seeing none, we'll move on to approval of minutes. We've done that in the consent agenda. Council comments? Anyone have any comments this evening? No?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr.
Briefly,
Capella.
I appreciate the efforts of staff. I do believe we have competent and capable staff, as illustrated by the events in just the short time period that you have expressed the challenges. It, to me, is a success story. It's also a cautionary tale. We need to, in my opinion, as a council, be that's not a word, be laser focused on what we are to be stewards of. Safety, infrastructure, the foundational points of our community. In tonight's meeting, we had a lot of community and celebration, and that is an awesome thing. The reality of our job is to make sure we have the staff in place, the contingencies in place, and the focus on what is fundamental for the perpetual Orange City. I do not want to lose focus of why we are here. And I understand there's a variety of opinions on what we as a council should be representing and what we should be promoting. And I am for the community. I am of this community. But what we need to be focused on is not the feel-good stuff. It's the hard work. So I appreciate what the staff is able to do. I worry for when we aren't. I just want to thank y'all for what you do. I want to thank the council for what they do. We are in the public service. That is our purpose. So thank you. It's a responsibility. It's a privilege. We need to remain focused. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Yesterday, I went to the mayor's forum. Harry and Fran showed up. Thank you for your support. It was great seeing you there. I think it went really well. You know, we heard from all the mayors, the West Volusia County mayors. Everybody has a different take on things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they talked about the gas tax, which, but at any rate, it was very good. Everyone got their points across, and it was a very good meeting.
Yeah, it was.
So, all right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Volunteer dinner tomorrow night, don't
Yeah.
forget.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead, Harry.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, you got a motion?
I got a motion.
Got a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. We're adjourned. 7:33. Yay.
We started making a competition out of it.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
whew.
They're gonna keep coming.